It should have been a time of healing, a grief-stricken family unit reunited to mourn Garrison Brown. For a fleeting moment, it appeared as though there might be some chance to mend old wounds. That fleeting hope, though, was quickly crushed. What followed in the latest Sister Wives tell-all wasn't fabrication. It was anger, denial, and a jaw-dropping on-air meltdown. Hi, everybody. It's Aariaa. Welcome to TLC Next Reveal, your destination for real talk, unvarnished truth, and the stories that the promos don't share with you. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss a moment. And now that you've heard this, I want to hear what you think. Because what we are seeing today is not just reality TV soap opera, it's something much larger. Tell-alls are inherently dramatic, but this one crossed a line. The attention turned to Sukanya Krishnan, the poised, gracious host we've come to depend on. But rather than stand before her questions, Kody Brown lashed out. He not only dodged responsibility, he lost his mind. He yelled, waved her off, and insulted her on live television in a fit that would have gotten everybody else bounced from the set. But not Kody, because again, TLC just sat back and let it happen. This is beyond a failed marriage or unfinished resentment. It's about a man unraveling in front of our eyes. A man who once bragged he was the pillar of a plural family and now lashes out, untrammeled and unrivaled. It's about the crass favoritism that tore down the family he claimed to cherish. How Robyn ended up exemplifying that favoritism, where the other women were quietly pushed aside once they didn't fall into place. And worst of all, it's how TLC continues to give him the platform to yell at the women he once called his wives, and now even at professionals merely doing their job. This isn't just dysfunction. This is emotional power used as a weapon, and we're watching the fallout in real time. For years, Kody Brown offered the world a very specific picture. He was the faithful husband, balancing 4 wives and nearly 20 kids with patience, equanimity, and spiritual devotion. He called it his calling. He asked us to see him as the shepherd of an adoring, complicated family. And for a while, that is what we saw. It appeared terrific on the surface. One man committed to practicing his faith by polygamy. But under the slick interviews and extremely polished edits, the cracks were always evident. Early on, Kody claimed to treat all his wives equally, alternating nights, decision-making together, preaching oneness. But it didn't happen. Robyn quietly got more time and attention. Christine's complaints were silenced. Janelle was forced to parent alone. Mary became increasingly isolated. The telltale signs were there. Faint, yes. Difficult to discern when everyone still played along and no one had the guts to challenge the picture. Until Christine. She did not depart in a firestorm of chaos. She departed with humble integrity. She told her truth, and in doing so, dispelled the myth Kody spent decades selling. When Christine departed, the lie of equal love for all wives unraveled. Because now Kody could no longer dictate terms. And that's when it all began to unravel. You could see it on television, the desperation, the panic. He evolved from "I love them all the same" to "I simply have a different relationship with Robyn." He presented himself as the victim of rebellious, thankless wives. He started rewriting history, blaming Christine, saying he did his best, refusing responsibility. But this is the truth. None of it would have surfaced if the women hadn't quit covering for him. Christine broke the code. Janelle did the same. Even Mary, as devoted as they come, saw the light. The moment they stopped playing along, the mask fell. Kody didn't take responsibility for his flaws out of growth or remorse. He admitted what he had to because the women took back their narratives. And when they did, the charade unraveled. The perfect plural husband? He never lived, just a nicely practiced act. And now the play is over. The script unraveled the day that cast dropped their adherence to it. The moment Robyn entered the stage, something was different. Fans picked up on it. The other wives certainly did. And even though Kody went on for years to claim that all was equal, the favoritism was never there. It was simply unacknowledged. Now he's not even trying to keep it. Kody has openly admitted Robyn as the woman he truly loves, not with remorse, not with regret, but with divine entitlement. To him, their relationship is simply not special. It's sacred, God ordained. Let's be real. We've all seen this dynamic unfold. Robyn has consistently received more of Kody's time, his affection, his loyalty. Remember the COVID protocols? Kody practically moved into Robyn's home under the guise of safety, while the other wives were told they had to follow his rigid rules if they wanted to see him. But Robyn? She didn't have to change a thing. The rules always bent in her favor, and the inequality of screen time made it more evident. With Janelle or Christine, Kody was often cold, condescending, even combative. There was tension, apologies offered, blame assigned. But with Robyn, he was low-key, loving, emotionally present. She got the apologies. She got the effort. She got the man who wanted to make the relationship succeed. Now, instead of pretending to treat his wives equally, Kody has redefined his prejudice as God's will. He testified on national television. His love for Robyn is ordained. But if Robyn is the one chosen by God, then what does that say about Mary, Christine, and Janelle? For years, all four of the wives were promised that plural marriage was a calling from God, that their marriages were part of something bigger and holy, that they were on a path of obedience and unity from God. It wasn't lifestyle, it was doctrine. And now, with one sentence, Kody has changed the entire thing. He's actually implying, if not actually stating, that there was only one marriage worth anything, only one woman that he was ever meant to stand beside, that all the others were just stepping stones. Think about what that does for Christine and others like her, women who sacrificed their youth, their hearts, and their emotional labor to build the family Kody claimed to love. She raised his children, maintained that house, survived decades of spiritual and emotional expenditure, and now she is being told in suggestion, if not directly, that she was never the one, that it was never real, never divine. Kody's version of what went down is not just painful. It erases, it invalidates the decades these women spent building a life they thought was blessed. And he wants us, as an audience, to accept this redo as real, to realize betrayal as destiny. The tell-all was supposed to be a chance for closure, time to process loss, reflect on the season, and perhaps begin healing from what was undoubtedly the most painful chapter in Sister Wives history. Instead, it was something different. It was a show. KodyBrown didn't just break down, he detonated, and the target of his wrath, the classy, calm host, Sukanya Krishnan. It began innocently enough. Suki, to the fans, simply did what she was meant to do, pose logical, simple questions. She inquired as to whether Kody saying his relationship with Robyn is of heaven refuses to fit his centuries-old promises of equality within his plural marriages. It wasn't a trap. It wasn't an accusation. It was the turning point question of the entire series. But Kody didn't answer. He responded. His tone shifted instantly. His voice escalated and grew heated. His body language shifted, slouching in, chest puffing, gesturing belligerently. What could have been a respectful exchange turned into a hostile confrontation. And Suki didn't deserve it. What the viewers saw in that moment confirmed what Christine's family has maintained all these years, that when Kody feels threatened, he doesn't argue. He bullies. He yells. He blusters. He assaults. Seeing him blow up at Suki did more than confirm that dynamic. It made it public for everyone to see. And yet, despite all of that, Suki remained calm. You could see it on her face. The tension, the unease. But she didn't flinch. She didn't strike back. She did what Kody has never been able to do. She remained calm, professional, and grounded in reality. There were times during the tell-all when Sukanya Krishnan, serene, collected, and utterly professional, glanced off camera. You could have almost heard the unspoken question in her eyes. Is anyone going to stop this? No one did. She remained seated, keeping her cool, as the man across from her spoke loudly, talked over her, and made her job, the one she was professionally hired to do, all but impossible. Let's get real for a second. Keep in mind that this was not a reality television reunion special. Keep in mind that it was a network news desk. NBC, CBS. Now imagine a man guest on live TV, yelling at a woman reporter, yelling over her, accusing her of having asked him a question to which he had contractually agreed to respond. That would never stand. Human resources would step in. Executives would issue statements. There would be consequences. But on Sister Wives, business as usual in production. That's the real issue here. That's not just about Kody being violent. That's about workplace violence. Suki is a professional, hired by TLC to maintain order at a reunion, to work through difficult conversations with compassion and respect. What she's not hired to do is stand by and be verbally browbeaten by a man who won't accept responsibility. And yet that is what happened. Nobody on the set stepped in. TLC just kept rolling. Because drama sells. And what about Suki? Who's looking after her? She read from the script. She asked the questions the script told her to ask. She never goaded, never insulted, never strayed. And yet, she found herself the target of a man who did not want to meet the mirror she held up in front of him. And TLC, the company that paid her to manage this conversation, let it happen. This is not just cringe TV. It's a bad precedent. Because if Kody can scream at the host, hijack the set, and make it out alive, if he can make the workplace hostile and get rewarded with airtime in return, what does that say? That rage generates ratings, that bullying works, that women are disposable? That's not a bad thing for Kody. That's a failure of the system, one TLC is a partner to. Here's what actually frightens me. It's not new. It's not one isolated breakdown. It's a pattern, a long-term public pattern Kody Brown has repeated time and again, especially with women no longer playing along to the image he wishes to protect. And if history is any teacher, Suki might have simply become just another list of women who were dumped for saying nothing more than the truth. Recall Tamron Hall, Natalie Morales, both well-respected veteran journalists. Both interviewed Kody in earlier tell-alls, posed hard questions, brought thoughtful insight, and then vanished, slickly replaced. No explanation, no goodbyes. You can call creative direction if you like, but let's not be cute. The formula's too blatant. Pose hard questions, question Kody, and you're shown the door. And now, introduce Suki, with questions plucked straight from TLC's own analysis breakdown, and still being yelled at like she made the mess up herself instead of trying to walk it off. The scary part is, she'll probably be gone next year. Not because she failed, not because she messed up, but because she had her job too well done. Because she didn't bob her head in assent as Kody spun his victim narrative. Because she didn't dilute the facts. Because she didn't use the guise of a fake smile as a man recreates history in the moment. This is how power works. This is how control persists. Not just in Kody's home, but on TV. He bullies like a machine gun, and TLC rewards him because every tantrum is revenue. Every insult is ratings. Every meltdown is dollars. But it's not just Kody's wives that come with an emotional toll. It's the hosts, too. They show up, they stay present, and they try to hold space for the mess, the betrayal, and the sadness. They try to keep a story afloat that's been falling apart for decades. They are anchors in turmoil. And what do they get? Anger, disrespect, and ultimately, silence. Think on that. Think of the emotional labor Christine put into leaving. The determination it took from Janelle to finally end the excuses. The years of ungrumbling suffering Mary endured. And now Suki is added to their ranks, drinking in the emotional leftover of Kody's dysfunction, sopping up the shock so he won't have to confront what he's become. Because in Kody's world, when a woman complains, she's considered hard to get along with, disrespectful, aggressive, and then she disappears. It's not just a breaking up family, it's a reality show built on the erasure of women who won't play along. When I step back and think about what we've all watched this season, especially that tell-all, I feel this tight knot in my chest. Not just because it was dramatic or sloppy, but because it was deeply troubling. What does it mean about TLC that they are peddling something so raw, so emotionally raw, and in all honesty, so toxic? As entertainment, when does documenting dysfunction turn into exploiting it? And how many women must be shouted down or shoved to the side before an authority figure can utter, "Enough"? Because this is not gossip in a tabloid. This isn't drama. This is a tale about control, about a man who's been allowed to manipulate every narrative inside his family and on national TV for more than a decade, and about a network that keeps protecting him. Why? Because he brings in ratings, but at what cost? We've watched Kody twist facts, explode in anger, rewrite history, and treat women, wives, hosts, professionals, with blatant disrespect. And all while the cameras keep rolling. It's become brand now, hasn't it? Kody loses it. Kody walks off set. Kody utters something outrageous, and we're just supposed to roll with it. Like it's all part of the act. Like it's just Kody being Kody. But come on. If you or me acted like that in any workplace environment, we'd be written up, fired, held accountable, given more airtime. I do know some of you have been watching this show for years. Maybe you saw parts of your own life in Christine's courage. Maybe you felt Mary's loneliness or Janelle's breaking point. And now, maybe you are looking at Suki, wondering, when will she say, "I'm done"? I'd love to hear from you. Will Suki be back next season, or was that tell-all her last straw? Leave your feedback in the comments. I truly want to hear from you. And if you've reached this point, thanks. It means you care, not just about the headlines, but about truth, dignity, and accountability. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe to TLC Next Reveal. I'm Aariaa, and I'll be right here with you, taking it all apart, step by step.